Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the HIGH-5 podcast, HIGH-5 After Dark. I'm your host, Malcolm from Malcolm&Mary, and today we're going to be taking a look at a beautiful product off the shelves of HIGH-5. And I'll tell you why I'm back on here. I'm back on here this the next morning after sampling and trying the Triple OG from Mt.Baker. Now, this little guy featured on the podcast last night. I gave it a 4 out of 10. This is top shelf. I get it. It seems a little bit harsh, didn't even make it halfway. But as I was uploading the podcast and as I was filling out my sample form, I realized that the high was a little intense. So I had to actually bump it up to a 5 out of 10, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? I said it's a very solid 5 out of 10. 4 out of 10 was a little harsh, but I gave it a 5 out of 10. Most of the reason why I scored it as low as I did may have been because the actual effects didn't necessarily suit me at that time of day. So now here we are. I literally went to sleep, and in my sleep and in my dreams, I felt like I had been too hard on the Triple OG and literally woke up with anxiety to try it again immediately in the morning, just so that I could give it a more fair opportunity, you know what I'm saying? Because I hate seeming like a snob over weed, you know what I'm saying? Like I really do hate seeming like a snob over Mary Jane. You know what I'm saying? Because I do thoroughly enjoy her and, all of her desired effects. But there's a time and a place for everything. Now, if I try it this time around for the second trial, which we are about to do early in the morning as it is today, big shout out to this very cold, crisp, chill March day. Big shout out to all the birthdays in March. Big shout out to the month of March and Primavera among us. I'm so excited about that. Welcome spring. But nevertheless, yeah, now if I try this during this experience and it still feels just as lackluster and it still feels, how should I say, as empty as it was last night, that I could confidently stamp, this is not, my cup of tea, you know what I'm saying? And I can't see myself using this in my repertoire. Last night, I was saying, well, there's no reason for me to have this. I don't see why anybody would enjoy this. Hopefully, I can give a farm that has been struggling with consistency and this strain the benefit of the doubt. And hopefully, I can, how should I say, take some chalk off of Mt.Baker's name, if that makes sense. Because you know what? My thing is, I don't want this to be the straw that broke the camel's back for me not trying Mt.Baker again. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, until they put out a new strain, then I'm like, well, I guess I'll feature it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that to be the case. So let's jump into this. We're going to look at these, this terpene profile. Let's get this open. I'm getting lime. It is fairly sweet as well. A little bit of skunk, but like the lime has a great freshness to it, or the sweetness has a freshness to it. Let's see, it's almost like, yeah, the lime is it's like a lime zest, very much so. And I think that lime zest note is playing with the freshness of the sweet note, which is actually quite unique. But fairly mild. I give this like a 40% total smell profile. So curb appeal, I'm not that excited about that. Empty this bad boy out. I don't know if I'll need all that, but anyways. Nugs, dry as can be, as discussed yesterday. Would love to see Mt.Baker do a better job when they're Cure as a top shelf option. Come on now. Much more chalky, but nothing else really. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, big shout out to everybody up early in the morning, man. Rocking and rolling, getting ready for their day. What's some of your morning ritual? Okay, Malcolm, what's your favorite morning ritual? Go. 5, 4, 3. Honestly, getting in the shower and stretching in the shower. When I'm in the shower, I spend most of my time with my back facing the water. And like I'll turn, you know what I'm saying? Of course, walk my front side, but a majority of my time is spent with my back to the water because I run a fairly hot shower and I feel like on the front side it's a little bit much. Hey, y'all go ahead and play that commercial break music. Hold on 1 second. But yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, as far as in the shower, I feel like taking a hot shower and facing the water is a little bit intense. So I have my back turned. And then I'll do stretches like this and just try and reach as high up as possible with my palms clasped. And when the water hits the muscles up along the spine while doing that, oh, it's the best. Woo, gesundheit. Now, so far, curb appeal, I am going to give this a 4 out of 10. It's definitely giving me a little sneeze as well. That's more undesirable, of course. Hey, I'm going to wash my little handsies. Yeah, but I'm ready for this, man. I am ready for this. I am going to grind up a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, big shout out to HIGH-5, big shout out to HIGH-5 Supply. Big shout out to the episode yesterday. Big shout out to Emily. Big shout out to Adrian, rocking and rolling. Oh, we had a blast last night. It was a very good time. Excellent. Big shout out to all the cast members and everybody who ever jumped on to the podcast. Gotta love it. We can get it all in there. There you go. Now that is a beautiful early morning bowl. You gotta love it. All right, Malcolm. I'm like, now how do I get this all in here without it spilling all over the place? Big shout out to Taurus Cannabis. I can't believe that packaging Adrian showed us yesterday. Oh, I'm in love. I'm literally in love. Big shout out to you for Champions League as well. Liverpool versus Real Madrid. You know I didn't get to watch. That is, if that's not a get back in bed after I ingest some food after this. Also, okay, so now we're going to jump into what I think I might be looking for in this actual experience. Before we get started. Last night, I literally couldn't shut up. Hopefully, this gives me that type of social stimulation again. Last night, I destroyed food after I was done with this. Hopefully, this gets me in the mood to be appetite stimulant as well. Really looking forward to that. I got some gluten-free pancakes coming up from Jam on Hawthorne. Oh, I'm so excited about it. Vanilla Bavarian cream. I didn't do the apples. I just like the vanilla Bavarian cream and a little bit of kosher salt and syrup. I've been putting kosher salt on my French toast and my pancakes. Mind blown, literally mind blown. I hope that it allows me to be as stimulated as I was the last time that I tried it. And I hope that it remains to be as light of a high that it was last night, which is one thing I didn't care for at that time of the day. I wish it would have been a little bit heavier. So I hope, really, I hope everything that happened last night happens again. Now, because it is 8 a.m. versus midnight, there are going to be many differences with my starting point in energy levels, in attention span, in creativity, in desire. These, as they are, how should I say? These, as they are, with how my body is sober, will definitely affect and bleed into what my experience, or how different my experience is as opposed to last night. So let's jump into this. Once again, still so dry, not uniform, definitely more dusty. It's hard to tell, but here we go. Actually, it's not hard to tell. I literally put the bowl in there and half of it just tried to fly out. Okay. It's gonna be nice. You gotta see some of that propeller action. Let's see. Can I do it? Gotta love Marion, gotta love the propeller. I will say this is fairly smooth. Like I said, I will give this an 8.5 out of 10 as far as how smooth it is. I am enjoying this. Big shout out to all the propeller perks out there. Big shout out to Sesh Supply. Sesh Supply, you see a Sesh Supply. Big shout out to Sesh Supply. And let's see. RIP Ness, as always. Here we go. I know I got one more. Here we go. RIP Ness, here we go. Hey, God. Yeah, immediately I feel like listening to some form of stimulation would be pleasant right now. I feel like listening to music would be well. I feel like I'd rather maybe listen to music or do more of a fun activity, whether it's dancing, whether it's singing. I went on a date with a lovely young lady the other day. She said she don't really dance. She's unfamiliar with the song. She'll just do the macarana to the song. And I was like, hey, Marco, hey, Marco, hey, Marco. I don't even know how to do it. But I was like this kind of thing. And she was like, yeah, but not like that. And I was like, then there was a song playing, and I was like, then how would you do the Macarena? For instance, if it was a song, she was like, no, you gotta do it to the beat, and I was just like, oh my God. The bar table started shaking, and we had a weird shit. That was mad funny. I was like, this is a lot. And I was like, don't ever do that in public, especially if I'm there. I will act like I don't know you. But nevertheless. But also big shout out to her, big shout out to everybody and how they dance and their coping mechanisms. Oh man, that was great. I never heard of that before. She said I do the Macarena. But white ashes, you know what I'm saying? Nice little thing to see. But 2 hits in, I do feel the onset effect so far. It's fairly mild, you know what I'm saying? The onset of it. But I do get something. I'm feeling a nice chest euphoria. It is coming off as more sedated. I actually feel less in my head than when I started. My head felt a little bit, well, I should say this, physically, my head feels much lighter so far. Much lighter, which is kind of unique. I feel as though the face muscles might become more sedated and they might get heavier. But right now I feel like the like very top of my head has a string, and somebody's just pulling it at all times. And like there's like a valve, and it's like releasing steam out my head. That's exactly what this feels like. I feel like there's a I feel like there's a valve that keeps releasing steam and pressure. Really, it's pressure, but anyways, it is a pleasant feeling. It is welcome. It's not something that's like giving me anxiety. It's not something that, you know, I'm weirded out by any means necessary. Let's see. Yeah, but anyways, like I was saying, big shout out to Taurus Cannabis with that cool packaging and the jars and just being able to lift it up. Oh man, that's great. Literally great. Oh, I love that. I need to see that in the stores. I got to text inventory and see what we can do, because that's ridiculous. But so far, we got the triple OG. I'd probably say I'm about halfway. I will hit this one more time, because and now the effects are definitely starting to, you know, come in. They're definitely starting to rear their head in a way that is a little bit more noticeable. Once again, big shout out to everybody traveling right there. How do you say shout out? No, I got to know this one. I have to know this one. Granji. I don't know how to say yell. And I don't really know how to say out. Gritar.
Gritar.
Huh.
Shout out.
And the computer said the English one like a black person. So you know it's the right way. I love that. Look, Siri said,
shout out.
Nah, that's the slow time because I did this like that. Listen to it this time.
Shout out.
She said it like me. Shout out. Because shout out Google, and shout out to everybody worldwide using Google. But nevertheless.
Gritar. Gritar.
Gritar. Interesting. Yeah. Grande gritar. Grande gritar. That goes way too well. That goes way too well. G and G. Grande gritar, todas personas. Pessoas. Pessoas. Spanish pessoa. Portuguese pessoa. Interesting. Nevertheless. Interessante. No entanto. I feel like, yes, this is prone to ramble. I was supposed to take another hit and I didn't. There we go. It has a buoyancy about it. The euphoria right around the like lower chest, it's almost like I'm in water. And like, I feel like every time like, you know, like a wave might hit you or something like that, like, or like just like the water kind of having that sensation around your body is giving me that. That's what this euphoria is giving me. I have to write that down. Let's see. Has a buoyancy about it. And you want to know what's funny? Even if I just wrote has a buoyancy about it and didn't write anything else, let's see, very similar. So I would say it's very similar to sitting in a body of water. But even if I just wrote has a buoyancy about it and didn't write anything else, no matter how much time goes by, when I go back and look at sample forms, regardless of if anybody else might know what it means exactly, I literally remember the exact story behind 95% of everything that's on my sample forms. And sometimes like I'm like wicked stoned. So like I'll like blah blah like a sentence, and then I'll come back and like, what the fuck did that even mean? But like literally 95% of the times, because I wrote it, as soon as I see it and like say it out loud, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that day, like exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like that instance in which I was writing that and that instance in which I thought that. Remember, this is you. This isn't, you know what I'm saying, something somebody else did and then it's, you know, trying to see what you can, you know, understand and remember from it. Literally, you wrote this. You're gonna remember what you wrote, quite literally. Even if I might not be able to say it off the top of my head, like I have forms for forum cut cookies. If you ask me about forum cut cookies right now, I'd be like, it's probably these two things, you know what I'm saying? I don't really remember exactly off the top of my head. Once I started reading my sample form, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember writing this. That's the point. No matter what, as soon as I start reading it, no matter what sample form, I remember that exact point in time in which I wrote it, which is something that's very, very unique. Something that's very, very unique. Like I said, you are the creator, the test taker, and the cheater. You can be the cheater when it comes to sample forms and understanding your desired effects. And I know last time, well, number one, sorry, still got to hit this. And see, this is what kind of experience this is. Not good for multitasking. Definitely doesn't have the best focus. This is very smooth. I just wish it had flavor. And that's the saddest part. Yeah, I just wish it had flavor. And I mean like any flavor. Definitely not the most happy about that. But so far, we are about halfway through a bowl. I would say that I'm enjoying this. It's burning actually quite well. Like I said, I had a lot in there. This is actually burning quite well. I probably am at like 75% still in the bowl, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So its potency is there. Actually, let me hit this one more time before I say that. This is too much of the bowl to be left to be giving it a potency rating, I should say. All right, now we can better assess this. But I do still feel light on my feet in a way. Not really coughing down much its experience at all. So I do love that. I'm not even gonna hold you. I do love that. I think that's great. I literally think that's great. With everything else included, the effects, the curb appeal, like the smoothness isn't enough to carry this on its own. I say all that to say this. This is something that I want to say is, well, number one, it's not that creative. It's not easy. It's not very free flowing socially. It's funny. I'm very quick to talk about what a strain doesn't have before I talk about what it's good at. And I feel like a lot of times that's a great thing because it's still information. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I can't put my finger on what I like about something, you know what I'm saying? Or what is a positive change in this experience, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that this doesn't have any. Well, let's see, the free flowing socially. The body height is pleasant, so I can see this good for muscle relaxation, possibly. Definitely do feel chill. Like I said, I feel like well, I know sitting back for sure feels more comfortable than what I was doing before. Um, Definitely back is a lot more at ease. Do I feel like this is a get back in the bed kind of high though? This is a get back in the bed kind of amount. But are the desired effects along the same lines? Let's see. I would definitely eat first. Well, my gluten-free pancakes. Big shout out to ET, man. ET cranking out gluten-free pancakes. Or Louise, actually, Louise made them today. Big shout out Louise. But yeah, man, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. And I do want to take one more hit. I don't know why I just went in there with my finger when I could have done it. We're gonna go in there. And the lighter does it so much more neatly as well, packing down the bowl. Let's see. But definitely starting to get dry mouth. Definitely starting to get dry mouth. Let's see. So you know I wouldn't recommend for public. Let's see. Yeah, most of the euphoria is coming from the chest, and most of the really it's kind of like an invigorating chest high, but it's heavier. You know what I'm saying? I should write that down there. Invigorating chest high. And I don't think that it's anything that I necessarily care for. Like I like my chest to be at ease, not to be so heavy. Like this feels like a heavier experience for sure. And that kind of feels anxiety prone. And it's like a heavy sedation with that invigorating nature, though. That's the best way I can put it. Let's see. Big shout out to High-5. Big shout out to High-5 Stevenson. Big shout out to Mavs Tap House. And big shout out to something in the works. Hey, big shout out all over the place. Go check them out. Champagne Poetry. Big shout out to Jam One Hawthorne. Check them out. Gotta love it. The dry mouth is totally starting to rear its head, and it's just out of bounds. Like I said, this is split lip. This is split lip weed, 100%. Hashtag split lip. Crazy. Is this more of a head high or a body high? That actually kind of tripped me up because it's a very soft high, but like I'm still up beat mentally at least. Physically, I do feel a little bit like, you know what I'm saying? Which is fine. It's also very early, so it's matching my typical, but I know I shouldn't say it's matching my typical. So this feeling this way isn't uncommon, but the biggest, I feel like my legs don't match my torso. That's really what this is. Because I feel like my upper is like ready and my legs are just like complete Z's. They're complete Z's. And I think I would love it if it was vice versa. I need my upper and torso to calm down and to chill out, and my legs to get with the program. That's so funny. Literally with love. Now, is this more of an uplifting high or more of a sedated high? This is more of a sedated high. It's very invigorating with its euphoria. And it's more of a sedated high. This is like a, especially as high as I'm impressed. I'm gonna give this like a good 8 out of 10 sedation wise. I've also smoked a decent amount. You know what I'm saying? Typically by now I'm done, and I still have 1 or 2 more hits in here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I have 2 more hits in here. There's mad green in this bowl. But and also 2 more, especially out of Marion. And big shout out to Marion. Sorry, Marion. But yeah, especially out of Marion. Nice, tight, firm hits. Very, very good. Like I said, my favorite piece. But nevertheless, no tanto. Sometimes I'll describe an experience by how my actual voice sounds and how I think I sound. This is way more of a soft experience. You know what I'm saying? It really is. Because our voice and how we come up and our disposition is a reflection of how we feel, you know what I'm saying, or can be in many instances. But is this a relaxing high? Yes, I will say this is a relaxing high. I will say this is relaxing high because I'm still, like I said, upper part is still able. So if I'm doing like press conferences, or if I, hypothetically speaking, if I had to be responsible to do something, I think in moderation in particular, you would be fine. You know what I'm saying? I think you'd be, you know, confident, number one. And I think you would be, you know, able to function at a sober capacity, a more sober capacity. Or at least I feel like that would be the case for myself. But which in that instance, I don't necessarily care for products like that, because why am I smoking something to stay somewhat sober? I might as well just stay sober, get it out the way, do it well, and then recreate when it's time that there's nothing else that we have to do. We have no other agenda. But is this the type of experience that I would prefer over other strains at HIGH-5 currently, just to recreate with nothing else ahead of me? Absolutely not. This is not happy enough. This is not sedated enough. And I feel like this is also not as uplifting as I might like, you know what I'm saying? Or as opposed to some of the other options. The Bodega Buds Jokers did sell out, so I can't really mention that. But Doc and Yeti rocking and rolling as always. There is another, I want to say, Mind Bender, or I'm sorry, Bodega Buds in the pre-roll section. Come on, man. I know you gotta go grab that. And go get them, because all I'm gonna do is sell those today. I'm not even gonna hold you. All I'm gonna do is sell those today. And they're pre-rolls. So like I said, I found seeds in my Bodega Buds. Yippee, right? Ha ha ha, whatever. I literally found seeds in mine. You know, the pre-rolls, they're pre-rolls. So they already got rid of that problem for you. They dealt with everything. Gotta love it. I do want to go through that and see if I can find some nice material. Gotta love it. But Yeah, as far as a functional versus a non-functional high, I'm gonna go ahead and label this a non-functional high. You know what I'm saying? Definitely within the first 3 to 4 hits, I was feeling kind of froggy still. But now I'm like, I don't really want to do much. I don't really want to, how should I say, put forth a lot of effort towards anything necessarily. Which thank God it's early because, like I said, we do still have our day ahead of us. And we're going to get to it. We're going to enjoy our day. We're so grateful and thankful. It's another day. You know what I'm saying? We're rocking and rolling. This is something that I might recommend. But see, like I said, I wouldn't recommend this over any of the other strains in the middle tier or the budget tier case that I like. You know what I'm saying? So, do I recommend this for the daytime, especially with it being the experience that it's being so far? I'm gonna say no because at this price, at the top shelf price, this like yes, okay, this is more of a daytime high. Like I said, especially in moderation, sure. But there's things that are better highs overall. You know what I'm saying? Also in moderation. You know what I'm saying? That are in the middle tier and in the budget tier. So sorry, Mt.Baker. This is an okay experience. And has nothing to do with Mt.Baker. Once again, like I said, the grow was great. This is just me and preference to this cut of this strain. Once again, this is the triple OG, the indica. Yeah, almost. I will give it one more hit. But now, this is a reference to how stony and how, or the level of potency, which I didn't get to before. This is probably potency wise, I would give it like an 8.5 out of 10. Is that well, okay, an 8 out of 10. Because like I said, this is a big bowl. This is a big bowl. So I'm gonna give the potency an 8 out of 10. But it's got like a very like numbing sensation around the top of my head for sure. And that's the overall leading theme of the high. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I feel relaxed. I don't feel easily disturbed. Um, and I have my morning set out in front of me, and I am going to execute it. You know what I'm saying? Might be doing it not at the quickest pace, but it's going to get done. Everything that needs to get done. You know what I'm saying? My next thing that I have planned is to get comfortable, one way or another. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's going to be, sitting down on the couch. I don't know if that's going to be laying down in the bed. I do know it's going to involve gluten-free pancakes. My appetite has definitely been stimulated. 100%. Because there's gluten-free pancakes to be had. Shout out to Bob's Red Mill. Big shout out to Bob. Bob, I'll take 9,000 of those and send them over to Jim on Alta, please and thank you. Oh, big God. And big shout out to everybody learning a new language as always. Big shout out. Big shout out to everybody knowing a new language and still learning it. You gotta love that because it never ends. Literally never ends. Sometimes I look at how I speak English and then get upset and then look at myself and wonder how I can get upset when I don't understand Portuguese fluently. I say things like yaya and jaja vivi. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're also very colorful people. So don't be so tough on yourself. You got this. Stick to it and stick with it. Now, as far as what I might recommend this for, I can see speaking for like brainstorming. Like I said, listening to music. Appetite stimulation, as I mentioned before. Still a solo session. Don't smoke this out in public. Don't smoke this with other people. A morale booster. Maybe if you make a decision and you're celebrating it, that's what this is good for. Celebrating making a major decision. Because it's a solo session. So it's a celebration with yourself, but what are you celebrating? It has to be some, if there's a celebration, you decide you're gonna move, you send an email for an application, you respond and accept an email for an application. This is what you, this is respond, congratulations. This is correspondence, respond, congratulations, weed, 100%. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like this is great for that. It's a little mental party. Let's see. Interesting. But other than that, if that's not the case, feels kind of weird. I don't know if it's my cup of tea. I also think I may have needed a lot less to get to my current state of stoniness. Like I'm definitely high, you know what I'm saying? For as much as I've had to smoke, like I said, I better be high. You know what I'm saying? I could have took one hit of the Mendo Purple from my guys and got to this level, literally. And I feel I've been a little bit more maybe goofy, maybe silly. Those are things I look for, you know what I'm saying? That really make myself feel, more vibrant. That doesn't mean necessarily energetic. That just means vibrant. But yeah, I mean, this is it's an okay experience. And eu não sou local nisso. Eu não sou local nisso. I'm not mad at it. But I'm trying to think about what else I might recommend. Really, those are the only things. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe sitting at a restaurant, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel loud and obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? But no, not like I said, not out in public. And also like I was just about to say, I thought people watching would be good, but then I just realized I would literally just be staring at people, smacked as fuck, probably smelling like weed. You know what I'm saying? So don't want that. Yeah. So like I said, nice little solo sessions. But it seems as though this has brought us to the scale of 1 through 10. Would you recommend, or would you try this again? And it is the Mt.Baker Triple OG. This little guy is a top shelf option. As far as everything, concerned, curb appeal, desired effects, terpene profile, you know what I'm saying, reputation, consistency. On a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna give this, and I have 2 more hits up. I'm gonna give this like a 6. I'm gonna give this a 6. It's a 6 out of 10. It has a very weakening, like physically, I feel weak. You know what I'm saying? Which like I know like a lot of psychedelics can kind of give you that nuance, like just loosey goosey. Let's see. I also know my body's getting so excited for the gluten-free pancakes. My body literally can't even contain it. So. And it's great. I know so. I know so. Oh my God. In Portuguese. Let's see. But yeah, this is a 6 out of 10. I think this would be better in the day. Because see, this is when it gets very specific. I can see this is more of a daytime experience, but I feel like this is the daytime experience when you don't have anything else left to do. So that you can just be kind of blah. Like I said, this is a very kind of blah kind of experience. It is. The issue is I feel soft, but it doesn't feel calm. I've been waiting to get that out this entire time. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I couldn't put my finger on it. And I say this because at many of the thoughts that appear into my head, I get a rise. I'm very quick to get a rise of excitement, of anxiety, of nervousness, of happiness. Like I'm quick, like I do feel good, don't get me, and that's why I feel good. Well, and literally last night I was saying it's got many good aspects to it, but the combo of things are clashing. This is still the case, but those things that are clashing, like I said, they're at this time of the day, now they're rises. You know what I'm saying? And they are still present, but they're just not at the same time. I feel like the neurons aren't firing at the same time. And yes, that's what neurons do. They jaja vide. Let's see. Quick. The desired effects are, quick following rises. And it literally is coming from my chest. Rises surrounding thoughts. Some butterflies are stemming from that overall occurrence as well, which is nice. But if I had to say, did I enjoy my experience? Yes, I did. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed my experience. This is still a 6 out of 10, but I enjoyed my experience. You know what I'm saying? I had a good time. Loving Mary Jane as always, because she is that phenomenon. She is that great. One thing I will say, in the morning time, definitely a little bit more technical. We almost got a full sample form in the actual session while really maintaining pretty okay engagement. I felt like not bad. And on this, there's a line that says intensity of high, 2 weak, low, moderate, high, or too powerful. This is a moderate kind of experience. If you're looking for something that's a little bit on the more mild side, I feel like this is because I shouldn't say it's mild, but the effects aren't debilitating. This is a very diamond in the rough kind of thing. Like there's a lot of rough, there's a lot of like cloudiness socially and like capability wise, like delivery wise. But like when I get it, like it's like ding, like it hits and it comes out like very, very how should I say, clean. as I don't get it out. There you go. Let's see. Do I recommend carrying this in the store as far as a top shelf? Well, no, especially at that price now. If this was in the budget tier, I might recommend it, but then even then I wouldn't, because this isn't flavorful enough. This doesn't have the curb appeal enough. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna, like I said, man, this is Yaya Jaji. Like if you feel it, you know. Sky High, Star Killer, you just know. Let's see. And don't get me wrong. If you ever come across something and you feel it and it don't got the jaja, don't get it. Come on now. Come on. Let's see. Big shout out to Buddhist Blessing, been rocking and rolling. Everybody's been enjoying them on the show. Everybody's been enjoying Buddhist Blessing. Big shout out to them as well. But parece como se. It seems as though we have come to a close. I want to give a big shout out to everybody out there enjoying Mary Jane and rocking and rolling. And remember to stay high and humble. We will see y'all next time. Peace. Have a good one, y'all. Yeah, big shout out to Roventius on Hawthorne. Big shout out to Goldust Word here. Big shout out. Big shout out to the whole Hawthorne district. In all honesty, the entire Belmont. Big shout out. Go get you some pizza today for no reason. No, that's right.